Hello and welcome to At the Forefront FinTech Conversations. I'm Sam Belden, head of content at Forefront Communications. With me today is Jim Toes, president and CEO of the Security Traders Association. Jim, welcome to At the Forefront.
Sam, thanks for having us on.
Always great to have you on, especially in the run-up to your annual Market Structure Conference, 93rd annual conference this October. And you're in the late stages of planning and making sure everything is a great experience for people on site.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. We're always in planning mode.
Good
You
stuff.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I know how it is. Good stuff. Well, for those of you who may not be aware, the way that I always think about STA is you guys advocate for individuals in the securities industry. You communicate and educate people on market structure developments, and you also bring everyone together, facilitate networking opportunities, and give back to the community as well. But maybe in your own words, can you just give us a little bit of a closer look at what STA does?
No, I think you described it well. I mean, obviously we have a long history. We have 16 affiliates in the U.S. and we have 4 up in Canada, and our members are individuals. They're not firms, unlike most trade associations, and that does kind of drive everything we do. To your point around education, and the education we provide is really to help people in their career development, right? So, things at the SEC and Congress and the CFTC, they're in different time zones than what people are, working in now. So we really try to educate members as far as what's coming down the road so they can kind of adjust their careers accordingly. And to your point also, we try to advocate for common sense, regulations and legislation.
Awesome. Great. Well, to that point, I know that, regulators like the SEC, CFTC, FINRA, they are providing greater clarity and openness on market structure issues. We've seen that over the past year to 2 years. And so I wanted to ask, what conversations around all of these issues are sort of driving that next chapter? And also, why is this year's STA conference in DC the ideal forum to have some of those conversations?
Yeah, I mean, the other, you talked about clarity around. They're also collaborating for the first time. So I think for the longest time that I can remember, the SEC and the CFTC were the only country in the world, by the way, that has 2 primary regulators of financial markets, and for the first time, they are actually collaborating. So if you go back to March of this year, there was an MOU signed between the SEC and the CFTC. In March of this year, obviously, with the influence of prediction markets, tokenization, and AI, and futures, and options and equities and ETFs all kind of coming together, the MOU is very important for our industry as they're looking they're looking for a couple of reasons. Obviously they want to get down the definitions for products and venues, get a clear definition that they're on the same page. They want to be streamlining some of the reporting and data standards. And then they also want to be customized. And the important part here is they want to be able to customize the capital and portfolio margin requirement.
Right.
Because right now, a lot of the products that are coming out right now, an ETF is a security, but the ETF holds non-security types of investments,
Right.
whether it's tokens, Bitcoins, or other products. And, they're easy to trade, but they're not easy to clear. And margin obviously plays a big role in that. So we're very encouraged with the MOU that got put in place early this year that will enable like a next 2.0, 3.0 version of our marketplace that enables capital to move across asset classes, not just on a trading perspective, but also on the clearing as well.
Great. So when you talk about that 2.0, 3.0 version of our market structure, that sort of led you to this title of this year's conference, The Future in Focus, right?
Yeah. So when we think about like the 3 major influences that we're seeing in the marketplace today, obviously you need to be talking about tokenization, you need to be talking about prediction markets, and obviously AI. And if we go back just a year ago, those influences, they were more than concepts, but they were definitely in their early stages. No one really had a roadmap as far as how they were going to be implemented into the traditional finance market structure. So I think, today, we're seeing it through rule filings, concept for releases, taking a lot of input where people are getting a clearer focus on which way the regulation is going to go in those areas.
Awesome. Great.
Mhm.
Give us a little bit more of a preview of what attendees can expect on some of those topics. And if you want
Yeah.
to focus on one or two in particular, just a little bit more detail on what's in
I
store.
think, listen, I think typical panels are not going to be typical this year,
Okay.
right? So, I mean, if you look at like, the options panel, historically, we would talk about strike proliferation, the growth of retail. This is going to have to talk about how the options marketplace is competing with the prediction markets,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
If you look at like electronic trading, we would be talking about, algo wheels, right? Well, now as tokenization of NMS securities is going to be something that happens in my lifetime, yours, you're much younger, it'll happen in yours as well. But how are they going to be traded on an electronic platform? So I think the themes that I think people are for coming, they're going to see typical panels are not typical this year. So those are some of the minutiae in going through the panels.
Yeah, it's interesting how all of this sort of product level innovation seems to be colliding with versions of the same market structure debates
Mhm.
that have been playing out for years, even decades. So, yeah, certainly sounds like a good program in store this year.
Mhm.
Um, so, switching gears a little bit, I know that one of STA's strengths is its grassroots origins. I know you represent individuals; those individuals are members of affiliates throughout the country.
Yeah.
All comes together to sort of form this national STA. So, tell us a little bit more about how the grassroots model provides value and how it sort of speaks to your core values.
Yeah, I mean, several ways. Obviously, there's diversity in geography, right?
Yep.
We go from Boston out to San Fran, Toronto out to Vancouver. There's diversity also in the business models that are unlike most associations that maybe represent one type of a business model. We go the whole life cycle of options, equities, and ETFs, so that brings it in. And I think that we also, we see, the people, the individuals in our industry that tend to be pretty entrepreneurial, and they like to go where the disruptor is going to be. So we kind of try to bring it all together, So something that may be happening in Boston, we try to communicate that across the nation on it. So it's a pretty cool organization as far as the grassroots go, and obviously that also plays into our ability to kind of get access to congressional members that have an influence on our market structure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that giving back, another important pillar of
Yeah.
what STA does. Tell me a little bit about Greenwood Project.
Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, first off, giving back is like in the DNA of the association at the local level. Anytime you go to like an affiliate event, there's always going to be a charity aspect to it where they're trying to give back to the community, make the community better.
That's great.
Greenwood Project, very excited to have them for our 2026 charity of choice. So, obviously what they're trying to do is they're trying to just create career pathways for Black and Latinos college students who probably don't have anyone in their family who's in the industry.
Mm.
And, we see this not just as a value for the college students in that demographic, but we also see it as a value for our member firms, for the firms here, because they're all looking for really good, candidates in that area.
Right.
And from what we hear from like HR departments around the firms that are members is that they're getting inundated by AI as well. They used to only get 100 applications, now they're getting 1,000. So to kind of have like that personalized, more of a touch to it, we think adds, helps the member firms as they're looking for talented people in this area.
Interesting. Those personal relationships
Yes.
can kind of be your differentiator in this age where, on paper, everyone can put anything they want to on paper and make it sound as good as they possibly can. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's
awesome.
also good. So I mean, listen, we're talking lives here, right?
Right.
So I mean, their class this year is going to be it's around 325 people
That's great.
have that they've been able to find internships with, and that's going to grow. They have the ability to scale, and we're excited to have them in there.
Fantastic. Great.
Yeah. Mhm.
I know a couple of other things that are happening at the conference this
Mhm.
fall, Women in Finance Symposium, and then also your STA Young Professionals
Yeah.
Forum. Tell us a little bit more about those two breakouts.
Yeah, so the Women in Finance, it's in its 11th year, and this is going to be the biggest Women in Finance symposium that we've had,
Great.
because we have more space. Yeah,
That always helps,
to host
right?
it in.
Yeah.
The young professionals, again, it's something that started at the affiliate level. Like, so many of our efforts never really start at the national level.
Mhm.
It's really somewhere it percolates in a handful of affiliates, and then we try to, harness it and put it together. So I think this year with the young professionals, I think we have it right this year. We have a discounted rate for young professionals to come down. We have a dedicated event for them to have a panel or a speaker or two to help, that's speaking just to them. And plus we're letting the young professionals run it.
Okay.
If it doesn't work out, you can, blame the young kids on it. But no, listen, it's going to be a good event and we're very excited for it. They want in-person events too, man.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
want
that's
an
good point.
experience. The in-person events, the networking opportunities it provides, that never goes out of style.
Awesome. That's great. I wanted to ask, so
Mhm.
we talked about some of the content that's going to be happening on site. We talked about some of these additional things that people can expect. For someone who's never attended the
Yeah,
STA Market Structure Conference, what is one thing about the event that
yeah.
they might not even realize that they're missing?
I think when people come down for the first time, when you speak to them afterwards, they have, like, I don't want to call it like an aha moment, but
Mm,
it's like they see all the pieces coming together, right? They see like where legislation fits in on the Senate Banking and House Financial Services Committee. They see where the regulation fits in. They see where FINRA fits in. They see business leaders up on the stage, the ones who are making decisions on this. They're hearing from the key regulators on it, and they're also hearing from disruptors.
mhm.
So I think when people come down there, when the experience that they come away with is that they kind of see a very holistic view of the forces and influences that impact our market structure. And I think it's kind of like it creates a little bit of an eye-opening aha moment for them.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I imagine that diversity of attendance that you have,
Yeah.
all different firms across buy side, sell side, exchange, technology providers, regulators, it sort of adds to that almost like panoramic view where you see how it all comes together and
Hmm.
see everything that goes into making our industry what it
What
is.
it
So
is, the best in the world.
sounds compelling to me. Awesome. Well, Jim, thanks for taking the time to hop on today. For those of you interested in attending the STA Market Structure Conference in Washington, D.C. this October, we will put full registration information in the description right below this video. And for those of you who want to learn more about the conference or what STA does, you can head over to securitytraders.org, or for a full archive of At the Forefront podcast episodes, head over to forefrontcoms.com. So until next time, this has been At the Forefront. Jim, best of luck in the next few weeks, and we'll see you again soon.
And I'll see you in DC.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Sounds good.
Mhm.